Hey everybody, how you going? Welcome to this very first 30-day challenge TV show. Boy, it's awesome that you're here and seeing nothing else has happened here, nothing out of the ordinary. So I'm very excited to be able to bring to you on a daily basis, Sunday night through Thursday night, everything that's going on. I can respond to what's been happening, talk through issues and challenges that people have. It's not called the 30-day challenge for nothing, because it is going to stretch people, and it is going to make things very exciting for people. But I have to say that, and we did this very deliberately this year, if you get to the end of day 3, you have done the hardest stuff. This is the hardest part. Everything else from day 3 on is gravy. It is downhill running. The work that you have to do once you've got to this point, everything is downhill. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in this broadcast talking over days 2 and 3, because I really want to emphasise some of the key points out of that and address some of the issues as well. So we're going to get cracking now. Here's how it's going to go. We've got. I want to keep these to 30 minutes tops, because if people, there's already enough videos to be watching, let alone watching me again do these videos. So we're going to keep them to 30 minutes. We will then have a question and answer section after the event, and we'll just have a little break and a question and answers for people. We're going to spend a lot of time, particularly over the next couple of days. If you want us and the panel of experts, and yes, there's going to be a panel of experts coming up in the following shows, have a look at your particular analysis, and you want to do that, we're going to give you a way for doing that. So if you want to be part of tomorrow's show and analyse your results, you don't actually have to give us the phrase or anything like that. You just need to screenshot the Market Samurai parts of the screen that gives us the data, and we'll be able to give you some feedback. And I think that's going to be really interesting for people, because as you see us analyse the data, you'll then be able to learn to analyse that better yourself, which is very important. It really was an extraordinary weekend, and I want to just a huge thank you to the 30-day challenge moderators, to the Team Edge team, to all the team at Alliance Software and Market Samurai. The effort of rolling out software, brand new software, that literally is that groundbreaking. I'm going to explain why it's so groundbreaking too, because there's a lot of you who are brand new and you're just going, oh, that's cool, that's how it always should have been. And let me tell you, before Friday it has never been like that. The effort was extraordinary. They were literally down there at Market Samurai doing 24/7. They were literally, they had the hot bunk set up. They just did an extraordinary job of responding to people. The 30-day challenge moderators were just absolute legends in helping people through what was an extraordinary thing. When you look at the logistics and the complexity, we got off remarkably well. Not to say, however, there aren't still a couple of issues, and I'll talk about those as well. But oh gosh, in the whole, astounding effort on everybody's behalf, and most importantly, an astounding effort for you guys, because really you've been able to absorb, or you're in the process of absorbing, an extraordinary level of advanced information when you're just starting out. But we made that decision very, very consciously. We did debate about it, but we realised, because market research is so important, it's everything. It is everything. Your entire success in taking your business online or creating a new business online, it's all in the market research. And over the course of the next few days, I'll definitely explain that and prove it to you. The other key thing that we knew that if we did this is that you've got heaps of time. It may not seem like that at the moment, but because you can so laser target a phrase where you're going to be able to have an incredible impact very early on, all the time that you spend doing that is just going to make everything else easier down the track. And you'll see that it's a bit hard to believe that at the moment, but you will see that the hard work that you put in on days 2 and 3 will pay off just so much down the track. I'd also like to thank all of you who went to such efforts to, because there was probably a couple of hours all up of video to watch, and thank you so much for doing that, because it would have been a nightmare if everybody had just turned on their Market Samurai and just started playing around with it, because you've got an extraordinary tool there. It's an extraordinarily powerful tool, but you do need to use it in the right way. So now, what were the issues? The first one, of course, was that, and I should have thought of this, and it's basically a good thing, but I should have thought of it, is that usually Google do a pretty major update of their sort of various databases around the first of the month, and they usually do that on a Saturday night. So launching Market Samurai into a Saturday night on the first of the month was a bit exciting, and resulted in some people getting blank results for keyword phrases, and they were worried about being banned and stuff. And I notice on the Market Samurai tool, they use the word ban. They shouldn't use the word ban. It's not about being banned by Google at all. If you use Google's own keyword tool and you do lots of big heavy searches on it, they will give you a timeout, and that's what it is. It's a timeout. They just want to make sure that you're not some huge robot doing stuff. Market Samurai is a totally legitimate tool. It's absolutely 100% kosher. But, like any tool, if you do a search on, say, guitar, and hit keyword analysis on the word guitar, you're literally going to be sending, thousands upon thousands of queries to Google, and Google's going to say, huh? That's not what this is about. This is not what it's about. So that is why we had to get you, and why it was so important for you to get to watch those videos so that you can understand how to use the tool. The other little thing that, of course, we had happening was that everybody was literally following along with Rob Somerville. And so I'm not sure whether it was the update or that there were so many people all trying to do exactly the same search. But remember, day one, let's not forget day one. It was only 3 days ago. Let's not forget, way back in day one. Remember, we asked you to look at your own niches. We want you to look at your own niches on this, because then we won't have the problem. We'll spread the information across. So that was another thing. There's also the third issue was people who are in Europe, in particular continental Europe. There was an issue with Market Samurai. There is a workaround at the moment which works very well and has a huge bonus for you, because you'll be able to watch all the American television shows on Hulu. Now, somebody might be able to help me. I'm not sure if Shannon Cole, Master of the Links, is on duty. But there's a program now. It's called? What is it? HotSpot mask. Thanks, Shannon. What am I talking about, people? I'm watching the chat. What's that program? It's gone completely out of my head. I can't believe it. HotSpot. Anyone? I'm waiting. Anyone? No. It's a Wi-Fi. Basically, it was designed so that Americans traveling overseas could watch Hulu, which is a broadcast service which broadcasts all the TV shows. But it has a detection thing in it, which allows you, which means that if you try watch Hulu in Australia or Europe, that says, hang on, your iPod Hotspot Shield. Thank you, Hotspot Shield. That's it, and I'm pretty sure it's. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's cross-platform. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Master. See how good Master of the Links is? Shannon Cole has hit it in one. Have a look at that, and let's make sure somebody put that up on the forum as well in a post, because using that, is not only, as I say, not only will it allow Market Samurai to do its business for you, you'll also be able to watch the latest episodes of House at the same time. Win-win situation. So, very good. Marvellous. Okay, so they're the issues, really, considering how many changes there have been. Now, this is the other thing, and one of the cleverest things about Market Samurai, and indeed the platform that it's built on, the engine, if you will, that it's built on, is it allows for very rapid updating. Now, if you downloaded that on Saturday morning, you'll have noticed there's already been 2 updates to Market Samurai. The first update was for various fixes, and the second update enabled a whole new set of functionality which we used in day 3 of the challenge. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that because, bluntly, you guys have no freaking idea about how cool this new functionality is. This new functionality is unbelievable. Not only, remember last year, the biggest problem we had last year in the 30-day challenge, for those of you who were with us, the biggest problem was trying to explain the concept of competition. And the problem of, and not competition as in I'm competing against you to get sales, competition to rank inside the search engines using social bookmarking practices. If that all meant gobbledygook, don't worry about it. Everything will be intensely explained over the next week. It's such a huge thing because sometimes you could find a phrase that works, but you'd go through and do everything that you need to do, but then, boom, you didn't have a hope of getting on the front page of Google because everybody else had optimized their pages, and your competition, you're never going to get within anywhere of that front page of Google, which is where we want to be. In fact, we want to be number 1 ideally, because that's where we get the traffic. Okay? There was no way to, and I even showed you, if you saw that video, the traditional way we used to do it by comparing things using SEO for Firefox. But it was a poor substitute and almost impossible to explain. Anywhere where it's not a check the box, as a teacher, as an educator, anywhere where it's not check the box, you've got a big problem. Because anytime you've got to say, well, just look at it and it'll become apparent to you. That's not teaching. That's not education. That's, hopefully absorb years of experience and suck it in. Well, now, thanks to Market Samurai's incredible SEO competition tool, which was released yesterday, whole new, and this is what's amazing about this software, is this is a whole new, and I'm sorry, Immediate Edges, because you guys haven't even seen this part of it. Rob Somerville has been absolutely desperate for this sort of functionality for years, because I don't know if you guys realize this, and I'm going to take you through this just because I need to bang it into your head. And this is for veteran. I'm really actually addressing the super veterans that are here and are going to be watching this later on as to how powerful this is, because this particular functionality that I'm going to show you now allows you to not only work out whether you've got a hope in hell of getting on that front page of Google. For the first time in history, you will be able to actually look at those top 10 listings and know, not guess, know exactly what their SEO strategy is, what their search engine optimization strategy is. And you know whether you've got a clue, you know where their weaknesses are, and you can go in there and get that traffic. It is that huge. It is enormous. Now, there's a lot in Market Samurai in this tool, and it was a toss-up. Do we give 30-day challenges a little neutered version of the tool, which just gives them the data that they need? Or do we unleash the awesomeness and show everybody everything, because we know that a percentage of people will get how powerful it is, and other people will learn over time? We chose the latter route. And I think that's right. Let me demonstrate. Let's go to the screen. Prepare for awesomeness. Okay. Now let me just drag this down so you can see it. For a start, you'll notice that for certainly immediate edges, Market Samurai released a whole new interface over the weekend, which is brilliant, including projects, so you can save your settings so you don't have to hit up Google every time you need to access new data. And you can also do this SEO competition analysis. So you can see there I've got the SEO competition staff highlighted. Now you can see there I have used the keyword Marshall Guitar Amplifier. Not necessarily a good keyword, I just picked it because hey, I can. But have a look at this. This is freaking incredible. Freaking incredible. Look at this. Now first of all, let me explain what you're seeing. This URL here, this URL column, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 URLs listed there. This is, in order, the 13 sites listed on Google when you type in the term Marshall Guitar Amplifier. Is it any good, Ed? Very good, Next Instinct. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, so they're in order. Now I want you to see something here. There is already an incredible internet marketing lesson right here on this page. I typed in Marshall Guitar Amplifier. What should the #1 listing for Marshall Guitar Amplifiers be? I will wait for you to put this up on the on chat. Marshall.com, exactly right, Tech Dog. Is Marshall.com #1? Exactly. Is Marshall's #1? No. They are 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and that should be an enormous lesson to you all. A lot of people on the forums over the weekend were saying, oh my goodness, there's all these PR sites that are PR5s and PR4s and so on. I'm not going to have any chance at all of getting on those sites. Well, hello. Have a look at that. The top 3 sites are music stores, for goodness sake. 0, 0, 0 PR. And here's the thing. Now, PR stands for page rank, a thing which has attained almost mythical status. And as Market Samurai will reveal in all its gory glory for the first time, usually a total crock. Total crock. Because we can now see, just by looking at this, you can instantly see why those 3 are above the 4th. But that is for a veteran marketer. Okay? Veteran marketers will be able to see that instantly. For everybody doing the 30-day challenge, I only want you to look at one thing. I want you to say, how much red is there? How much yellow? How much green is there? Folks, how much red? How much green? How much yellow? Oh, yellow, orange. Toss it up. Lots o' green. Now, let me give you a little distinction. And you will have heard Guru Bob in his extraordinary lessons mention that there are only 2 things in life when it comes to search engines. The rather sexily titled on-page factors and off-page factors. Okay, in other words, the stuff that happens around your site and the stuff that happens on your site. That's it. And they pretty much, as a general rule, have equal weighting. Now, if I was in the SEO business, I can see that all of these sites are basically have massive linking strategies going on. They have lots of linking going on to their sites. Have a look at that. But most of them, look at this on page. So off page factors. Let me explain this properly. The first one is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First half of those columns up to the Yahoo are effectively off page factors. But then look at these: title, URL, description, heading, and CA. They are on page factors, and nobody's done it. Nobody has optimized on it. So if I was looking at attacking this market, and again, I apologize because I might be speaking Swahili for a lot of you at the moment, but I just really had to get through how incredibly, ridiculously important this tool is. I can see instantly that I could go after Marshall guitar amplifiers just with beautiful on-page factor pages. Wouldn't it be incredible if there was a tool that you could just type the word Marshall guitar amplifier and it will create a website for you instantly on your own domain and have all those on-page factors already done for you and just, you know, do that all automatically? Wouldn't that be an extraordinary piece of software? Wouldn't it? That would just be cool. You know, that would be good, wouldn't it? I would have thought so. It's a shame nothing like that exists ever. You know, that's never existed in the history of time. Only somebody as smart as Michelle McPherson has ever got stuff to rank not using stuff like Squidoo or hub pages or any of those things, but actually getting stuff to rank very quickly with your own domain on your own site. That's not possible. No way. That's ridiculous. That's just impossible. Nobody's done that. Nobody's done that. Nobody has ever had a push button solution where you could just type in Marshall guitar amplifier and in approximately a minute and a half have your own site with Marshall guitar amplifier content on it that is optimized for a search engine. It just doesn't happen. That's impossible to do. There's no way that you would ever be able to do that. Ever. Just wouldn't happen. So that is part of how that SEO competition, that part of that window is just so extraordinary. And here's the thing you want to be looking for. For the 30-day challenge purposes, there's only, for all of the coolness in this tool, there's what, 3 things that you need to look for when you boil it all down. Is our search engine traffic, our SEOT, as we call it, very sexy term, our SEOT, don't start pronouncing that, SEOT, I'm getting a lot of private messages, search engine SEOT is above 80, right? That's our first thing, because we want to make sure there's enough traffic. If you're going to go to some effort, because you know how you have to, you know, create content and you have to write up all those articles and then you have to throw it onto Squidoo and hub pages and you have to do all of that stuff before you can get any search engine rankings, right? Because that's what everybody teaches. So that must be right and that must be that hard. So when you do all of that, then you want to make sure that the effort's worth it. So you want to make sure that you're going to get traffic of at least 80. And remember, that's the only difference between actual traffic and SEOT traffic. It's a formula. And all it means is we want to try work out the traffic that you're actually going to get from number 1. Because if you see the overall traffic, you're not going to get overall traffic, because remember, the number 1 spot gets approximately 41% of the traffic. The number 2 spot gets approximately 11% of the traffic, and then it tails off. Okay, so we want you to be more we did that so that you could see a more realistic estimate of traffic, and the SEOT is a much more realistic estimate. Notice I used the word estimate. Does it mean exact? No, but I've got to say it's within about a standard deviation. which is as far as I get when it comes to mathematical genius. I remember standard deviation, and that was it. Now, of course, from competition pages, we want you to go for under 30,000. Okay? That's the second major thing for your phrase. We want your competition phrases to be under 30,000. Again, why? Why? Because we know at that point we're bringing a gun to a knife fight. Okay? And now, remember, and again, I'm sorry for everybody who's new, and I keep referring to last year, but I just want to do the comparisons, because last year you would have to hunt and peck search engine optimization. What do I mean? You would have to type in one phrase, Marshall guitar amplifier, for example, and then you would have to sort of hope. Okay, and if it didn't work, you go, oh damn it, and then you have to go to G-Trends again, then you have to try another word, and you have to test that, and you have to try another word, and you have to test that. Whereas now with Market Samurai, all of a sudden all of these keywords in phrases you would never dream of in a million billion years, all of a sudden leap out front and center. And that is what's so exciting about Market Samurai, because phrases, and remember Rob's example with vintage electric guitar, how he was able to find, Rob knows nothing about vintage electric guitars, but he was able to find phrases we never dreamed of thinking about in a million years that we're going to be able to go in there, dominate, and get decent traffic for. That is the amazing thing about Market Samurai. One of many amazing things about Market Samurai. So that's 1 and 2. The third thing, and again, let me just bring up my screen here again. The third thing is you've got to ask yourself, you've got to look at all that page, and you've got to ask yourself, how much red, how much yellow, and how much green? If there's a lot of red, a lot of yellow, and not a lot of green, move on. If there's a lot of green, not much red, not much yellow, bonanza, you're on the job. If it's somewhere in the mean, put it to one side and try your other phrases. And let's see, because we want to come up with a phrase which has the best looking profile here. I'm hungry, Ed. Hurry up and finish. Don't know how to respond to that. Oh dear. Okay, so there we have it. That's all you have to ask you. They're the 3 things. That's all you need to work out from a 30-day challenge perspective. From a experienced veteran's perspective, that tool shows you so much more. It literally tells you, and this is that competition screen. I look at that competition screen and I instantly know what all, and I've wondered this for ages. I can't tell you how, because obviously having a partialness to musical instruments, and in particular guitar, I've discovered that I couldn't work out why all of these music stores were above, like Marshall amplifiers, for example. It used to drive me nuts because they're selling stuff, they're not giving you any information, and Marshall amps is Marshall amps, for goodness sake. They should be at the top of this phrase. And you have a look at it, and instantly it's revealed, like for me as an experienced marketer, I can look at that in 1 second and say, look at what those cheeky buggers have done. And I could go in there tomorrow and nuke those mofos. No worries whatsoever. I could call up Marshall Amp and have them in the #1 spot like that, because I can instantly see it. And you've never been able to do analysis like that in one tool. It's extraordinary. It reveals your competition's search engine strategies. Like if I'd seen over here, do you know when somebody with real search engine chops has been involved? Is when I see lots of reds over this side, over the right hand side. In fact, see that yellow page there? Who's this? See where we've got all those reds with the yellows? Here we are. Who's this? What a shock. eBay. What a shock. Do you think they might have paid a bit of money for some search engine analysis and optimization? you bet your bottom dollar they have. So this is fantastic. I could go on for literal hours about this particular tool because this is just so extraordinary. You know, you could take your knowledge from the 30-day challenge, hang up your shingle, and be. I know guys that are paid $20,000, $30,000 a month to help companies get to #1 in the search engines, and they have no clue what's just being shown on that page. It's extraordinary. Greek Gormand asks a superb question there, I just noticed on the chat. And he says, can you please elaborate on the relationship between cornering many micro niches on the path to dominating a given niche or a mega niche, please? I would love to. And to continue on our samurai theme, I have to reference back to one of the greatest books of all time, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I don't know why so many people, basically Sun Tzu, and I'm just sort of like paraphrasing here just a tad, but basically Sun Tzu said this: if you're going to attack a powerful enemy, you're nuts to take the powerful enemy head on, because all that's going to result in is a lot of death for both sides. It's nuts. You have to pick off the edges and wear them down, lay siege. You have to attack the easy parts around the edges and bring the battle to you. So to use my Marshall guitar, and I'm not saying that Marshall guitar amplifier is a great phrase, actually. Please don't. I just typed it in because I just wanted to have a look. But if I go back to this page, what would I do? Like in Sun Tzu terms, would I attack people on backlinks? No freaking way. Look at this. 9,000, 198,000, 9,800, 42,700, 181,000, 79,200. No way would I attack them on that. Over time, sure. But if I want instant results and to make instant money, no, I wouldn't touch them there. I would attack them on page factors and then use the stuff that we're going to be showing you over the course of the next month. I've got to say though, folks, that is an advanced, it's an advanced thing. But you need the reason why do we do micro niches? Because if you pick up all the easy stuff around the castle, if you will, it makes it much easier to attack the castle. If you I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. Most people try to attack head on, and funnily enough, it's just carnage all round. Whereas if you pick up all this traffic, sales, money, resources, you can slowly build up to the point where you can make a full-on assault for that particular market. That's the smart way to do things, in my opinion. In my opinion, that is the smart way to do things. Because, you know, if you try to attack a big market head on, and that's why we encourage you to go after micro niches, because you'll get, you know, Sun Tzu talks a lot about resources, and most people don't look at the resources chapter of The Art of War because they think that's a bit, it's a bit boring, right? But if the army can't eat, it can't fight. And in internet marketing terms and business terms, if you don't have some cash coming through the door, then you're not doing anything, because you're struggling to find out where your next dollar's coming from to pay the bills at the end of the month. I need to get some money coming through. And this is the little hidden thing of the 30-day challenge. If I can get some money coming through the door, then you guys say, hang on, I can actually get some money. I can actually get some money for this. And then with that extra money, you can use that to build your war chest, to resource your army. And because, and this is a little sneak announcement for the people who are on the broadcast, people are saying, you know, and fair enough too, that this is just we're just using some sort of social bookmarking strategy. Wrong. We are not going to be just doing we are going to be doing some social bookmarking, make no mistake, because it's powerful and it works. But we actually are going to be covering off 2 huge traffic strategies in this 30-day challenge. And the reason we can is because Market Samurai takes what used to take days and turns it into hours. Once you're used to that tool and once you know how to use it properly, and by the way, how do you do that? Practice. Lots and lots of practice. And going over and watching the day 2 and 3 videos again and again and again. The tool has become really, really solid. I've got to say, it's really, apart from the things that I described previously, I've been playing around with it all morning. It's just superb. And so you can identify it's never been easier to identify a phrase that pays. I love that term, a phrase that pays, and that's what we're after. And this is a beginner's concept. When you think about it, everything on the internet is phrase-based. What do I mean by that? If I'm interested in getting some information about Marshall guitar amplifiers, then, funnily enough, I would want to type in Marshall amplifier to get information on Marshall amplifiers. I typed in a phrase, Marshall amplifier. I just released something. Hey, guitar guys, it just hit me smack in the middle of my forehead right then, and just shows how cool this tool is. Notice the keyword phrase. Hang on, let me show you this. And again, this is where some market knowledge is useful. Let me just bring this down for you. Over, I think it was 400 people a day type Marshall guitar amplifier. Did Marshall make guitars or amplifiers? No offense taken. Marshall, of course, are amplifier mate. They don't make guitars at all, yet people are typing in Marshall guitar amplifiers. There is a classic example of a phrase, an absolute classic example of a phrase. There's no way in a million years, if you were researching that market, you would think Marshall guitar amplifier. They are absolutely associated. They are absolutely associated, and thanks, somebody I know just put it up there, LSI. I know June's excited about today. I can tell through the chat that June is pumped, because you're absolutely right with, and this is going to freak out people, this word, latent semantic indexing. Nobody would have figured that out. Yet, thanks to Market Samurai, bam, we found that phrase. And that is what is so freaking exciting about this whole thing. Extraordinary, extraordinary, extraordinary. I just realised that. I was sitting here, it was staring me in the face, and I didn't realise, just didn't realise that was the case. It was crazy. So, okay. Yeah, so it's Marshall amplifier, right? They make amplifiers. They don't make guitars, yet people are typing in Marshall guitar amplifier. It is a guitar amplifier, but if I was researching that, I would have typed, if I wanted Marshall amps, I would have typed Marshall amp or Marshall amplifier. It's, I am excited. I've got to tell you I'm excited, because for marketing veterans, this tool, and I know some of my buddies have freaked out about this, because this just has never been available. It's just never, ever been available. And it just makes the tool so, and the fact that it's free to you guys to use during the 30-day challenge is insane. And I can't thank you guys enough for the guys at Alliance and the Market Samurai team for working with 30-day challenge this year. It's just such a shame that there wasn't a way to type Marshall guitar amplifiers into some site and then have it magically build a website based on Marshall guitar amplifier with all those on-page factors already sorted out for you, and it's all done, and it just creates it instantly, and there's like this huge, amazing thing where you can actually rank with your own domain name and your own site, because last year there was criticism that we were just using everybody else's sites and nobody actually owned anything. It'd be pretty extraordinary, wouldn't it, if there was such a tool that allowed you to be able to create your own site with with all these things automatically just by pressing a button on your own domain, and then having Google rank that, and that'd be extraordinary. But of course, it's a fantasy because it doesn't exist. But wouldn't it have been good if somebody had came up with that? It doesn't exist though, so that's a real shame. Real shame that that doesn't exist. Real shame that it doesn't exist. Well, there we are. Let me have a look at my notes because I've gone totally crazy. I think we've covered the base content for today. What we're going to do is we're going to have a short break. I think we'll play Phil's amazing song. That's a 5-minute. It's perfect. It's a 5-minute song. So we'll play Phil's, and then we'll come back after the break with question and answers, and perhaps the team can pop up the link to the question and answer tooly thingamajiggy thingamabob. That would be fantastic if you could all do that. And we'll be back in a second to do question and answers. And I will also, by the way, tell you how we can you can send us your competition analysis so that you can we can analyze it live over the next couple of days with our panel of experts. So let's go to Phil, and we'll be back for question and answers in exactly 5 minutes. Smoke them if you got them. Actually, don't smoke them if you got them. Smoking is bad. Okay, smoking is evil. Peace.
Start making some money online. You heard the 30-day challenge is a real good time. You wanna make $1 from the skills that you taught. It's not so hard to start a business as you once thought. You got making and down and Funk Master Dan Rain. You got the dashboard blogging forum, it's the best place to train. You got some video tuition on Ustream TV. How much will it cost? That's the best, it's for free. That's the 30-day challenge. We're making friends in the marketing industry. I said that's the 30-day challenge. The best